Right, we are back, and who would like to recap? Who would like to recap what happened last time?
Lord Gar was challenged to a duel to the death.
Yep, basically. But
He is undefeated.
sort of, yeah.
Oh,
I guess.
my bannerman Chigo fought for my honor.
Okay,
Yes.
what was that? House Eba?
Yeah. So
House
it
Eba.
was. Yeah, you were sent to invest. Yeah. So you're sent to investigate House Vixus, which is suspected of doing deals with the Ebony Syndicate. So you were sent to the planet Ralia, to a noble treat, Stormwind Peak, during their celebration week of their independence from heretics, and you are undercover as part of House Adela, and you had been challenged to a duel by the Lord of House Eba. Oh, and also,
You have a side objective.
yep, you were asked,
Wedding.
if possible, to protect Lady Alara Ballard, who is being targeted for assassination.
I think we kind of narrowed down like who might, as a
You have
suspicious. Like we have a suspect list, kind of.
Well, yeah, you had talked to her and had been able to kind of
her
subtly.
sister is marrying into another house, and we think that the intrigue around that might be what that's about.
Yeah, that's our main suspicion.
Just
so
remember.
We got an invite to the wedding.
Oh, yeah, you did actually. That's right. That was funny. Yeah, just remember your Crusader Kings 2 and you'll do fine.
Be a bastard. Know what every other bastard wants, know what every other bastard is doing, and know who you can use for your own bastardly ends.
Hey, now you're getting into the...
Also, find good genes and breed them into your line.
There's like a 15% chance they're going to pass down, unfortunately. Let's see here. All right. So yeah, you had just finished up the duel. Tigo had been able to successfully very nearly kill the duelist that House Eba had sent, but had spared his life and had patched him up. He has been escorted away to like a medical facility, as far as you're aware.
And he is grateful.
Yeah.
What is he, like 19-1 now?
Well, yeah. You'd probably have to look up his duel record, but
a lot of wins and one loss.
It's definitely a loss on his part. He was definitely one of the better duelists, sword fighters you had ever fought, but he still was not a match for Tigo.
We'll use this later.
Yeah.
Or our dicks.
Something.
Yeah, these
yes, we've been scheming, though I think I'm a little too inebriated to relay the scheme right now.
Watchmaker's had a couple drinks, yes.
Yes.
Alright, so following the duel, you see the various nobles, not only a couple scattered here and there in their retinue, do the very polite golf clap. A few of them had come up and asked Gar if they could use Tigo as basically a duelist, or if they could hire him away from you, and you had given a good cover story about how he is the head of your house's swordsmanship school.
Yes.
So
while not for sale.
And a few kids got a little nervous.
Yep.
Over there.
Yep, because they were being, in essence, told they were going to be, sent away to the school to learn. But as the various nobles are around, the dialogue switches from talking dueling and sword fighting to different kind of noble talk. One noble there, bit of an older man. He is starting to go, you can definitely see he's got some wrinkles. His hair is going a little gray, and he's talking to Gar about various noble things, such as
noble matters.
He's got a glass of wine, and he's talking about the wine, specifically the year and where it has come from, and all the flavors associated with it.
Yeah. Gar listens intently.
It's Lord Adela, what do you feel about this wine? I'm sensing a certain woodiness to it. What say you?
What do I roll to see how the wine tastes?
Ooh, I would maybe do like a flat intelligence, or you could
If
probably
it
get
makes
away.
you feel better, if sommeliers are already playing Taste Calvin Ball.
Yeah, you could probably get away with a deception roll.
I'll do it.
All right, wow.
Oh,
What do you tell him, Gar?
I tell him that I detect notes of a woodland glade on a spring morning after a rain.
He's not familiar with any of those like descriptors for wine, but you sell it so well, like very like a very commanding presence that you're able to just say that, and he suddenly
Also,
feels
something about tannins.
exactly. He suddenly is like, yes, I can definitely taste the woodland glade after a fresh rain. You're quite right, Lord Della.
Gar's like, yes, you see, you pay attention.
He's a visionary. He doesn't paint in what it tastes like. He paints in what it feels like. Like you'd be drinking this on that perfect in that glade.
It's this noble keeps going on and on about the wine, like for probably close to 10 minutes, like a point where you really don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay. We trade wine talk for a bit, and then Gar will change the subject to, I don't know, what do nobles talk about? How do you keep your labor force in line, Lord, whoever you are?
Oh dear, my name is Lord Willibald. Willibald.
Willibald.
Willibald. I prefer beatings. Sometimes they get a bit uppity, and then you have the taskmasters who have a it's a length of wood about yay big, and they strike them, and it releases a mild poison into their skin, which causes intense pain. It really. I do a yes. I do a thing where when I summon the laborers back, the last one back in gets struck, no matter what.
Ah. That should keep them on their toes.
Yes.
I may have to integrate these methods. I've mostly been employing giant stacks of loudspeakers, blaring motivational speeches about the Emperor at them 24/7.
Oh, that's always a good one. Yes, I should actually consider that. Maybe combine
Perhaps
the
I
two
can switch
methods.
to meetings at night so that they can sleep. The combination of these factors may increase productivity.
Oh, you'll have to tell me how that works. I will see about integrating it into my own labor force motivational methods.
Indeed.
Well, have you had the chance to speak with our host, Lord Vixus?
No. I have not had the chance to meet Lord Vixus yet. Have I? I don't think I have.
No. Well, I would definitely recommend that you at least give your greetings. Very, I mean, this is a party after all. Always good to rub elbows with the host.
Agreed.
And
Do that.
I'm sure he would be quite thrilled to meet your duelist as well, pointing to Tigo.
Yeah,
And
it's a good idea.
he's quite the wine connoisseur as well. He'll be quite happy to engage you with talk of wine. I could definitely recommend the Ralia. Let's see, what is it? The year? It's 880 M41. Always a perfect year for wine.
Keep it in mind, thank you.
Yes, I could definitely detect a slight forest copse with after a fresh spring rain.
Good. I like a wine like that. Alright, well, I guess I will go see our host with my retinue. Present ourselves.
All right. Oh, so
Is the wine he mentioned being served?
Yes. Yeah, you can see like the bottles with like the label very clearly placed.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. I don't know. So take some of that and go see Lord Vixus.
Okay. So approaching Lord Vixus, he is, and he's a little younger for being a noble, like head of the house. You would remember from your briefing that he was acting on behalf of the actual head of the household, his father. But he's like in his splendid like Imperial Guard-esque uniform, with like the
Oh yeah, yeah.
His fake guard.
yeah, with the like fur coat, like the fur cape held with the gold chain and the house symbol on a necklace dangling from his neck. Lots of nobles are around him, but they're all being kept at a respectful distance from him, with his various retinue slash guard who are keeping them step back, and they themselves are stepped away from him. So there's a little crowd in front of him.
Okay. We'll approach the crowd. I imagine, as he's the host of the party, the crowd kind of swirls around him as people greet him and offer their, hellos and thank yous and whatnots.
And they're brown nosing.
And they're brown.
So we'll kind of enter that circle and kind of wait until we can, just kind of rotate in front of him. And we'll be like, young Lord Vixus, thank you for having us. I am Lord, what's my name?
Herman Adela.
Herman Adela. I'm Lord Herman of House Adela.
All right.
Representing House Adela. May I present my retinue? I give their fake names.
Yeah, I don't think you actually chose fake names.
We make up name.
Fuck.
Let me. Are you going to a generator?
No. Rhodes Valos. There we go.
Rhodes Valis. Okay.
Here.
Oh God.
My Master of Arms, Rhodes Valos, and my Master Swordsman.
Let me see.
Oh God.
Let's do Martine Delacroix or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Martine Delacroix.
Yeah. I think this is. I think that's how you spell it.
Sounds like a duelist.
I think like.
Martine Delacroix. I don't know. I'm not great
I'm
at
not sure how to spell the last.
Français. Quoi?
Okay. Yeah. So the crowd, ebbs and flows as they speak to Lord Vixus, forming somewhat of a semicircle around him. But eventually, you do shift to the front, and introduce yourself to Lord Vixus. Gives a very polite nod. Greeting, Lord Herman Adela, and I welcome you and your retinue to the party. I trust you are having an excellent time.
Oh yes, you are most gracious, Lord Vixus. Party is lovely. Your guests are wonderful.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, I've heard about the minor altercation you had with Lord Ebba. I give my congratulations to your duelist there. Did quite a fine job.
Thank you, thank you. We take pride in our swordsmanship at House Adela.
Yes.
And of course, we didn't want to bring any unpleasantness here, of course, but we felt that we dealt with the matter quietly and quickly.
Perfect, perfect. Well, please make yourself at home. We'll be celebrating for the next few days. Dance more while you can. We'll be soon serving dessert.
Wonderful.
With that, you kind of get politely pushed aside.
For the next people.
Yeah. And you just see a member of the Adeptus Administorum, like very fine robes, looks to be like a kind of head bureaucrat just step up and start talking to Lord Vixus. And
Okay.
which point you kind of get shoved right to the back of the semicircle.
Expected.
Time to start pulling on threads.
But you would remember that your mission is he is going to be meeting with a member of the Ebony Syndicate, and that you just
You
have
think
to.
Vixus is going to be meeting with the Ebony Syndicate?
Yeah, that's our hunch. I think that's why we're here.
That's
We need
the
to-
yeah.
That's the main objective. We got to prove if this is true or not. And then the secondary is to keep the other one alive.
hmm
But if we had to choose, we have to find out.
The House Vixus lead is your primary objective, is what you were told.
Okay. We've got to get in with this guy. We need to become more important to him so he tells us things.
Look up who his rivals are locally, or if you you memorized the entire, at least your own lineage. I think. I don't know if the political dynamics were mentioned.
You were given the data slate you were giving with House Adela's information was only for House Adela and their history. So
Yeah. Okay. Then maybe we could roll for what we've picked up and or studied while we were getting set up for like if he has any known political rivals, whether we could try to undermine them in some way.
okay.
Like find somebody else at the party and like subtly fuck up one of their political moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, where I was kind of going was finding some sort of drama we could create.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you also got to be
Which we could
careful
then
that
step into and resolve on
right.
behalf of Lord Vixus.
But you also got to be careful that we don't know if one of his rivals could also be an Inquisition like set up also. Like
We did survive the first time, and the fact that we survived the first time in something like an Inquisitorial assassination means they're gonna know we're tipped off. They're probably not gonna try it again right after, and we're gonna have probably security shadowing what happens with us. So it's like a risk-benefit analysis. Oop, hold on. Sorry, I think my mic muted.
No, I can hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Okay, there we
Yeah.
go.
All right.
No, I meant my volume got slid down to 0.
Oh, I see. All
Or
right.
if you guys were all just being quiet, sorry.
Oh no, like I don't know if you heard. Like my only concern is the Inquisition could have like someone in his rival like circle also trying to get
Yeah.
information.
Well,
So
that's
we have-
not, we if we don't know about that, then we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but we also need to be like conscious of like
The
weird
possibility.
behavior of like a person.
We'll keep our eyes open. All right, so let's do a little opposition research here and see
This caused pandemonium. What we
see
do
who
best.
made Lord Vixus.
All
Then
right.
make it look like they're causing shit, and then kill them.
Okay. So you want to find out basically who is against like a rival to House Vixus.
Yeah.
All right. How would you like to approach this?
We make a desk that says "I hate House Vixus." Change my mind. No,
We
that's
could
not a
look
good
the
way.
crowd and make some inquiry rolls, perhaps.
Yeah, you could definitely make some inquiry rolls, just like kind of chat with various people throughout the party.
Yeah,
Can I try
do your bullshittery rolls.
scrutiny to see if I can pick up on who's avoiding who, and then just kind of eavesdrop on them?
Yeah, you could do that. Go ahead and make either an awareness or a scrutiny roll.
I'm gonna say scrutiny personally makes more sense to me. So
Yeah. Okay.
Hooray!
Highly scrutinous.
Yeah. So you were able to see a few members of various households that are not approaching the semicircle and are actually keeping their backs to it. That would, from that scrutiny
Maybe
roll, you would
there should
determine
be, like-
it's rude. It's considered rude to like do that.
Okay.
Maybe we should go talk to those people and find out.
Yeah, let's maybe do a walk by on our way to find wine. Like find a waiter with a saucer full of wine glasses or whatever, and just buzz by them really fast so we can kind of listen to which side of the we're hearing is which. Like if there's different groups.
Okay.
And then we can decide which one to jump into.
Yeah. We'll kind of walk by with our ears open and see what these groups are talking about.
All right. So you want to like subtly listen in on them?
Yeah.
That would probably be an awareness roll to do it. Actually, it's going to be two things. It's going to be a stealth roll to make sure that you can like kind of approach them quietly and pretend that you're not listening, and then an awareness roll to see exactly what you hear.
Okay, stealth then awareness.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll let you guys do that.
My question is, can I use my chameleon cloak modifier? Because I can kind of wear that as a ensemble sort of thing, depending on what it looks like.
I feel like, but I mean, not to undermine you. Apologies if I.
No. I'm asking because.
Well, I was just gonna say,
in my head, but
I think like you're the flashy duelist in their perception, so you would want to wear something kind of regal, like a cape more than a cloak. And somebody like me who looks like he's probably like more hired for military, well, not military skills, but like running a bodyguard contingent kind of skills, like FBI handler. It might make more sense for them to be more practically loaded out.
Yeah. No, I just wondering in the case of like stealth rolls in this.
In this case, actually pulling out the chameleon cloak, while you could attempt to convince people that maybe it's part of like a new fashion trend, it's not considered to be like standard noble attire.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering if I could pull something off like that. I was sure I probably couldn't, but I was wondering.
Yeah.
Asking, yeah. And sorry to sandbag you on that. I was just
it's fine.
Logic it out in my own head.
No, that's why I was trying to get like the logic in it. Is it something I could do or probably not?
Not in this case, yeah, but
let me bust out my nice scanner. Can you speak a little louder, sir?
Yeah, I'll do an unmodified stealth.
I'll do the same.
let me do a quick GM roll to see if they actually notice you.
Wow. Let me.
Yeah, we probably don't want to crit fail that one.
Yeah, let me redo that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's better.
All right. That being said, you attempt to integrate like near the group enough to listen in, but
I'm making my way to grab some like wine.
And
we probably kind of telegraphed it too hard.
Yeah, you basically like stand right next to like a member of the retinue there of the group, and he notices you and just looks and is like, sorry sir, but we're having a private conversation.
Nod, move on.
Okay.
Yeah, my apologies. And just keep going.
All right. You could still make an awareness roll. It would just be at a negative.
That makes sense. I'm gonna try that.
Negative 20.
Okay.
Ooh. All right. You did fail, but it's more of what the information you're actually going to get rather than.
I passed.
Oh wow! And actually,
Nice.
really well too. Okay. So Watchmaker, you hear a bit of words here or there. You hear, Vixus. You hear Ascent. You hear a couple words here or there that are a little maybe like a kind of backhanded compliment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tigo, you're able to listen through, like you're able to focus and listen through like the noise in the party, and you're able to hear the couple of people in the group talking. It's like just able to hear enough words that it's like House Vixus are failing to keep up with our ascent. They aren't as established as they should be. And we should be seeing more we should be seeing their like influence be reduced in the next few years. And then you hear that backhanded compliment. There's like, House Vixus has done so well for themselves. Surely they'll be able to keep it up for at least a few more years.
So they're losing influence.
Or they're going to.
Or they could be.
It's in the process is happening. Can we tell which house this is?
You could definitely see like their house icon, but if you wanted to, you would have to actually like identify it because there's like a lot of noble houses here.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we knew like offhand if this is like a minor one or a bit more major.
You could make like an intelligence test, like a flat intelligence test to determine what this house is.
Nah.
Nope. It's all like fancy.
Could Gar and
anybody wants
do the same?
Anybody wants to.
Could... Brick, but...
Flat intelligence.
Flat intelligence. Yep.
Aww.
Now you can recognize, like, you can see the symbol, and if you were to like cross-reference it, you would be able to determine what house this is, but you are not able to, off the top of your head, figure out what house this is.
All right.
Oh well. I wonder if there's a way if there's a reference sheet like for these people since there's so many houses here.
You were told there was a seating chart, but you weren't given access to it.
Yeah. Probably not worth like pursuing this right away because they'll get that can raise suspicion.
Okay. So while this is all going on, there is an announcement over. It is like the dessert will be served in the next 15 minutes. Then it gives like the actual description of the dessert, which is basically like this very it's a honey-covered kind of cake with powdered sugar on top of it.
Cool.
My God.
Served a la mode.
Now I wonder how honey production works in 40K.
Space bees.
And just imagine a literal hive world.
Yeah, right?
Like a
terrifying.
Bee world. World of bees.
You draw the short straw and that's your lifetime career. And you're essential to the production of luxury goods, so they keep giving you rejuice so they won't let you die.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's your next Inquisitorial like mission if you fail this one.
The honey must
My
flow.
condolences, everybody, as she takes off.
She just throws a rock at a hive and then like the door closes.
We get like beekeeping suits? No.
This is like suggesting imagery to me too.
Yeah, 40K, it's got some fucky planets. Got some nice ones too. But most of them are fucky.
So we're definitely gonna go grab some desserts. Is that group that we try to eavesdrop on grabbing dessert? Maybe we could get another attempt, but maybe stay a little further away.
Yeah. The dance floor it doesn't retract in, and like the tables come out. This is by like a standing dessert, and you see various waiters coming out, delivering the dessert, and there's lots of it. Like it's all piled up high on these plates that they're holding, but they're like very professionally like carrying it all and like taking like the dessert in like a gloved hand and like handing it over to people on like small plates.
If COVID precautions there too, geez.
Yep, basically. But yeah, you could definitely attempt, like everyone's getting like the dessert, and like the various, like the group you were trying to spy on is getting the dessert as well. But I also would like everyone to make an awareness roll.
I bet we're getting watched too. Yay.
Hooray, I won't, there's no pressure now.
Let's see, so yeah, Guard Deep Fell doesn't...
Guard's really into this dessert.
I mean, this is a really good dessert. This is like...
Gar was not expecting that the dessert would be so good.
This is why people turn to Slanesh kind of dessert.
Yeah, Gar's like really worried.
What is it? It's
Like,
an
this is
orgasm in
sinful,
Gar. It's an
and
orgasm in
undercover.
Gar's mouth.
And I can't not enjoy it because I'm undercover, but I want to throw it away because it's sinful. And Gar's very distracted.
Yeah, but you're committed.
Out of the corner of Watchmaker's eye, you see a waiter approaching Lady Alara Ballard and handing her a dessert cake that was already on a plate.
Oh.
And she thanks him, and she takes it, and she's just like holding it as she talks to somebody, and is like, just takes like a little fork and just like nibbling on it.
But it wasn't a waiter. It was like somebody else.
It was a waiter, but she's been served a cake that was already on a plate, as opposed to being placed on a plate.
In front of her.
Yep.
I'll point that out and ask what move we want to make. That might be poisoning.
This is rapidly getting a little bit slapstick, but I think somebody needs to accidentally bump into her, make her drop the cake.
Can we make it look like an accident?
Yes, stack drunk.
You could
How
certainly.
close are we to her?
You're probably about like 5 meters. So it's like
We can
50.
cross that.
Yeah,
That's
15
okay.
feet.
And do you need me to accidentally bump into you, Watchmaker? As I back up without seeing you?
Maybe. Trying to think of other ways we could do it.
I can trip. She turns. I roll to her legs.
There's the fake accident, and there's the walking up and slapping the cake out of her hand. And I'm not sure what else.
I challenge you to a duel, cake.
Whack!
While you are discussing this, Lady Ballard getting quite into this cake. Just a little nibble she had. She's like, takes uses the fork to cut off like a big chunk, sticks it in, and is
We need a word.
talking, but is like in the middle of like trying to bring it to her mouth while simultaneously talk to somebody. So.
All right,
So it's a tiny, minor political drama scandal we can use.
Somebody stumble, quick.
And is slowly bringing the cake up to her mouth as she's like talking to the person, kind of like the fork's waving around with this big chunk of cake.
Okay, let's go for the shove.
What do I have to do for this?
Walk towards her.
I'm walking-
while still in conversation with Watchmaker,
Okay.
not looking, and then just kind of like walk backwards into her, making her drop the cake or something like that.
Okay.
The real question is how we do this.
Yeah, probably dice will be involved.
Well, we're at the table getting cake, right?
There's no table so much
no,
as
when
like
we were getting served, and then like I back up, I crash into Watchmaker, and he kind of stumbles into her because he was caught off balance.
all right. If you want to do something like that, like you bump into Watchmaker, Watchmaker bumps into her, that would probably be in athletics, just to make sure that you bump her hard enough that she drops the cake or whatever you're.
Let's calibrate the bumping.
Yes.
Would both of us have to make that? Because my athletics is a 1 in 4 shot.
No, just the person bumping into her would have to make the athletics to make sure that they like bumped her hard enough. If you could think of like another thing you wanted to try,
What
like
is
using like sleight of hand or something, you could attempt that.
what are we getting a modifier on this? Because we're kind of planning this.
I would say like a +10 because you are planning it. You're attempting to
It
help
is
one another.
actually taking time.
Yeah. So I would say athletics +10.
What's untrained is what? -20?
-20. Yep.
So it'd be a -10. I'll be rolling at a, let's see, I think a 43 with that.
I'm rolling at a 28.
Okay, I guess I'll do it. -10, right?
Well, just if it's already untrained, it will calculate that in for you. So just add the 10 to it.
Oh, that's right. 10. Okay, then yeah, that's hold.
And you can do it.
Whoa.
So Tigo, walking next to Watchmaker, you are having a fake conversation. At which point Watchmaker kind of leans into you, and then you take that cue and you bump into Lady Alara. At which point, you bump her from behind, and not expecting this cake and fork fall, and she looks startled, looks back at you.
She dropped the cake. I apologize profusely.
Grab her a new cake.
I will get you a new cake, my lady. That's also like cringy though, saying my lady.
Hey, waiter, as soon as the plate and fork hit the ground, 2 waiters are there. They're quickly clean up the all the the spill, wipe the floor so it's not sticky, and there's another waiter with another cake in hand, handing it to her. And it's just like accidents.
It's a completely different waiter from before, right?
Yes, it is. It's like,
Did we?
This is like
well,
leading to a series of slapstick scenes where like.
Yeah. Well,
we
my
keep
question is, did we
thinking that someone's
witness
gonna kill
this?
her.
Well, my question is, did we witness this waiter cut the cake from like where we could visibly see instead of like?
Yeah, it's like basically like sticky buns where they're basically it's like in a pile and they just rip it off from like the other cakes, place them on a plate.
So we're good that this one is it's clean compared to the other one that came out of nowhere.
This one came out of a pile, the ripped off of the pile. Yeah,
Okay.
The cake pile.
the cake
cake.
pile.
My acting classes were
Good
very
kind of pile to have.
well taken.
So I wanted to go out, man. The cake pile.
The cake pile. And yeah, so you bump into Lady Alara. She gets new cake. After she's like, she's a little put off by this, but she's like, it's all right. Accidents happen. Just please be a little more careful in the future.
Plot twist: that the cake was clean.
At which point she turns back to the person she was talking to, and picks the conversation back up from where it left off.
Okay. She's fine for now. That crisis is potentially averted for right now.
At which point you see the group that had been bad-mouthing House Vixus start to head away from like the big group of people to like a more like quieter part of the party.
Should we tail him?
You could certainly try. That'd be another stealth roll to see if you could like follow them without them catching on.
If we
All
do,
right.
it should be a little further away than like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should just kind of move as a group and continue talking to people, but
Kind of
slowly
follow
move
in their
towards
wake.
them. Yeah.
So. There we go. And I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Watchmaker is able to very easily follow behind them without being seen. Did
I probably shouldn't since I already was seen by them.
okay.
That's
Alright.
just like personal thought. Like it'll seem really suspicious.
Yeah, so if Tigo wants to like hold back, just let Watchmaker take point, then he can
Yeah,
just
can I I don't know, is there a role for like I can just like keep an eye open type of like see if anybody's watching Watchmaker?
Yeah, that'd be an awareness roll.
Let's do that.
Quick bathroom break, 2 over.
Okay.
Wow, I'm really bad today.
Nope.
All my good rolls are saving that guy last week.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, you did get a really good roll on that one. Yeah, you don't notice anyone. As far as you can tell, nobody's watching Watchmaker.
Alright. I guess I can. I'm kind of wondering if I should like sort of like just keep an eye like a watch out. Like I guess scan the room sort of thing. What
Okay.
Matt normally does.
Yeah, so if you wanted to like basically scan the room, see if you notice anything suspicious or out of the ordinary, that would be an extended awareness test
Yeah, we can do
as
that.
you spend the next like 10, 20 minutes just looking around the room.
Let's do that.
So this will be 4 tests. Okay.
1, 2.
All right.
Wow, is it like extremes?
Yeah.
3. Seriously, extremes. Wow, I'm also noticing how important my modifiers are. Jesus.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, you still got more fails than successes.
I think they were even.
Let's see. Well, you got
The
that.
first one was for Matt.
Let's see.
Then it's 2 and 2.
There's the first one was for that one, but there's 3 successes, 6 fails.
6?
Yep.
Hang on.
There's the first 6 fail, and then the second 6 fail. You rolled an 87 versus a 38.
Oh, the 6 fail. Oh, you're adding
Yeah.
the degrees.
Yep. Yeah. It counts it by the degrees.
I was thinking temps. That's why.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't think I explained the that, but basically the extended test counts the degrees of success versus failure.
Okay.
So
5. 10
yeah,
versus 8.
yep, yeah. So
MU87.
you don't see anything suspicious. You're not really used to like noble parties. As far as you're aware, everything is working as
Kosher.
it's supposed to be.
Let's see. I should really put up my awareness soon.
But
let's see. I'm checking my main stats to see what I can do to raise them later. Perception, fieldcraft.
all right. Did you want to do anything else while we're waiting for Matt and Jeremy to get back?
I'm trying to think like what trouble I can get into so Gar can, like Jeremy can try to get me out of it. Dude, it's the opposite this time.
All right.
So I failed awareness test, like scanning a room, because without modifiers, I am very unaware.
Am I in time to roll one?
I'm scanning a room.
Yeah.
So you're.
Tigo is doing an extended test awareness, basically 5-minute intervals of scanning like the room, seeing what's out of the ordinary.
Gotcha.
So he spent about 20 minutes doing that. Now you did a really good roll with that stealth, so you can listen in with a plus 20 to your awareness to see what the group is saying.
Okay. Nice.
You would have done it without that.
Yeah. All right. So you get a really good awareness there. So as they're leaving, the group is talking. You pick up the name House Holger. And specifically, you're able to determine that they are a cadet branch of House Holgar. And so basically, they're saying, like, the snippets you pick up are House Holgar was given command of the local trade station above like various planets by the sector governor.
Okay.
And are going to be collecting tariffs from all the trade that comes in. And House Vixus had been expecting to get that that right to control the trade stations for the area, and how it's a big blow to their like prestige and their wealth and their power. And then House Holgar just has to get a few defensive stations online to ensure proper trade protection, at which point they'll be secure in their like rivalry with House Vixus.
What was that name for that house?
So that would be House Holger. I will place it in chat right now. Here you go.
Holger.
Yep. And so they're just, yeah, they're like basically the local rival house of Vixus is what you were able to pick up, and some of the little political wheelings and dealings and going on.
Got some of that. So House Vixus is losing some shipping contracts or something?
Yeah, they have
Even
lost
protection contest.
Yeah, they've lost control, or it was basically from what you could determine. They were saying that there was a opening to control the trade through various trade stations in a section of the sector you're in, and it was a contest between House Holger and Vixus lost. Holger has the contract, and they just need to set up some defensive like platforms around the trade stations to ensure that they have the contract like locked down.
Okay. So House.
You could maybe gossip to them if they hired some passing rogue traders to privateer under disguise as like, I don't know, Eldar raiders or something, and sabotage their platform before their defenses were up. They would look like they can't protect the investment, so the contract might get pulled. Maybe we could relay that to the others based on what we've heard. The guys we're trying to get in with.
All right. So that would be like something you want to make up or find information about.
Find information about.
Okay. If you want to like see if you can get rumors of anything like that, that would be like an inquiry test.
What do you guys think?
I can try.
I assume Gar can't do it.
Yeah, it would have to be us.
Yeah.
Let's
Which
see, where's
test?
my inquiry?
I feel like if we do it badly, it comes off worse on us, so it may not be worth trying. You know what I mean?
That is true. My inquiry is horrible. That'll be rolling at a 18.
Or is that kind of metagaming?
You can inquiry.
Like knowing you suck at something?
I wouldn't necessarily call that metagaming. If you know you're not good at something, you're not going to attempt to do it really. Or you would, if you're not on the spot, like having to do something, then you're going to play to your strengths and not to your weaknesses.
Yeah, okay.
But so overhearing this, Watchmaker would have gone back to Tito and Gar and just fill them in on what he had overheard. Yep.
What have we seen of House Holder? Can we identify them? Are they people who have been cold shouldering Vixus, or are they not making a?
Well, you were able to determine, identifying House Holgar, you're able to find their family's like crest that everyone would be wearing, and the cadet houses of them would have like a variation of that crest, as well as their house colors. And from what you're able to observe, all those House Holger and the cadet houses have been the ones who have been cold shouldering Vixus.
Okay. That's useful information.
All right. Actually,
So, how do we create some drama with House Holder and House Vixus?
I kind of like the idea of starting rumors and then saying the other one did it, but that might rely on Gar transparently disclosing his allegiance in this whole kerfuffle.
Well,
if we fucked it up. Or you
yeah,
could be like,
I
I
think
heard this guy called you a dick.
that's the thing. That might be the way to go, but if I fuck it up,
It's well and
it'll
truly
become
fucked.
obvious what we're doing, and that would be bad.
Yeah.
Well, I got 3 fate points, so
Does what we're
let's
just
fucking roll.
suggesting make sense to you, Ian?
yeah, you basically want to start like a rumor that House Vixus is going to be getting like rogue trader privateers to attack the stations that House Holger have like control over.
Okay.
And you just want to start that
This
rumor.
makes Holger think that Vixus is going to try something, and it might cause them to act out. Worth a shot. All right, so Gar is going to just pick. He's going to head to the most active part of the party. He's going to pick a group. He's going to start making small talk.
Okay.
And then eventually, in one of his conversations with that group, he's going to be like, keep this on the down low, but I heard from, Bob Holger over here that blah, blah, blah. They're going to be setting up an attack on Vixus. Now, I mean, that's, I don't know how much of this I say in exactly those words, but I spread the rumor.
You spread the rumor that Holger is attacking Vixus, or Vixus is attacking Holger.
The idea was that. Wait. Holger's the one that took over the stuff. The idea was that Vixus would be attacking.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make a deceive roll.
I deceive you! What?
Fuck!
You almost deceived them.
I use a fate point.
Okay.
Deception.
You deceived. There we go.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
So Gar is telling, making small chat with the various nobles he integrated himself with, and is, for a brief moment, mixes up the names, and then, gets it and remembers, is like, I hear that, yeah, Vixus is upset about the Holgar trade station deal, and is going to be trying something setting up some attacks against them using rogue traders. And the nobles around you are a little quiet about this, but you see they're agreeing. They're like, yeah, that does sound like, I think I might have heard about that as well. Yeah. And the chatter starts to flow through the group.
Yes.
So Gar's gonna not hang around for a super long time with this group. He's also gonna not try and be super obvious. He's gonna wait a few minutes, talk about some other shit, and then just kind of float off to the next group, whatever.
Okay.
Like a ghost.
All right. So yeah, Gar.
Social butterflying it.
Perfect. So yeah, Gar just talks about some other stuff, random things, talks about the weather, and then just after a few minutes leaves the group.
Yeah, did you hear about those scientists that got stranded on that planet?
Oh
Snowing
yeah.
all the damn time.
Oh, yeah. Actually, no, that'd be a secret Inquisition, well, not secret Inquisition research base, but it'd be a kind of
No, it's just, man, it's always snowing on that planet.
they don't know
Wanna
what
go
planet.
there?
They don't know what planet you're talking about.
No, I'm just out of character on that.
Yeah, no, I figured, but yeah. So yeah, so Gar.
No, because I sure as hell ain't decepting anybody.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
can kill them real good.
you can. You can sneak up and stab them good, but
I'll pick them
Gar.
up and kiss them.
That might
That
be a
talent
little.
has not come up yet.
Yeah, I don't know what the role for that would be. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, probably a charm. Or maybe in athletics, depending on how you want to approach it. But either way, Gar leaves the group, and after having what he believes is a successfully spreading of the rumor.
Nice. Well done.
Okay. Now, I suppose we observe and see if our work is successful, or do you think we need to press on this lever a little more?
I would say we should pull back and wait.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
This is what? We still have 4 or 5 days of this partying?
It's 3 more days.
Okay. Still a lot of partying.
Yep. All right. Let's check some. Okay. So the rumor spreads throughout the group. So you can go ahead and make either an inquiry or an awareness roll to determine how well it does spread.
I will do. Let me see. I'm gonna do inquiry. No, wait, not inquiry. Awareness.
Okay.
I always get scrutinize and inquiry mixed up.
Yeah.
I'm going backwards here. These rolls are getting really bad.
There we go. Is it me or did the skew? I guess it might just be me. I was gonna. Yeah, it looks fairly even now that I scroll back up.
Yeah.
Mine's is I rely on third-party tools.
You are, yeah, rolling it against a 38, but Tico's not able to pick out the specific conversation and follow the actual rumor train. As for Gar, he's able to talk with a few people who are a little closer to the group of House Holger, and they don't mention the rumor at all. And Watchmaker is not able to overhear anybody out of this larger group speak about the rumor. So
may not have taken root.
Set your back on fire and start it again. No.
It's what you can tell it's taken root, but it hasn't spread.
So what we need to do,
It's kind of a long game.
we
thing.
need a stooge. We need a drunken stooge to go around and spread rumors for us. That's not us.
Where's that guy from Hussars right now?
Seriously,
Start not
if you-
appearing in this ball.
Sadly, you just don't see him at the ball. Which stooge? He's got a couple of them.
The one that eats everything.
He's maybe not good in this crowd.
No, he would be.
He'd
thrown
do
out.
fine.
You just eat everything. Oh, this cake is gray. It just tastes like definitely poison.
We actually still don't know if there was actually anything amiss with that.
Yeah.
I guess I was thinking at first it was just like a minor political snub, but the more yeah.
Mm. I don't know. I just wrote the thing.
How dare you? Oh dear.
Let's we like become friends with some young stupid nobleman, use him as a pawn, perhaps. What do you think about that? Someone highly suggestible.
You can certainly try.
You ever see like how in Final Fantasy VIII Squall's like in the corner just drinking his wine? That's Tigo. Freaking Renoir shows up.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's been a while since I played that game. But yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like at the beginning of the game.
Alright, so can I do a scrutiny of the people in our general area and see if I can find somebody like me? Somebody young, intoxicated, blabbermouth.
Yeah. I can.
Gregarious.
I think you would want to be aware for that, though. Well, you might want to scrutiny for somebody like that. I could probably be aware.
Yeah, I'm trying to roll scrutiny rolls.
You could do scrutiny, awareness, or even inquiry to find somebody like that, either by observation or just talking to people.
Yeah, I'll do scrutiny for that too.
I
See-
will also scrutinize.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, yours worked.
Yeah.
I was closer.
You were closer, yeah. Gar's not able to find anybody. Like, he looks around the nobles. Tigo looks around the nobles. It's really just a sea of them all drinking, talking to one another. But Watchmaker does catch a younger noble from a house who has really not a lot of, like, people. Like, the insignia and the retinue is very small.
Mhm.
He's a younger guy. He has a glass of wine nearly empty. Waiter comes up, and you actually catch him looking over to Tigo, and looks like he's trying to get the nerve to like walk up and talk to him.
I'll tap the others, point at him, and then go up ahead of them, and then come up around him and put a hand on his shoulder, and I'll point at Tigo, and I'll be like, everybody first feels fear. What you have to do if you ever want to be a duelist is overcome it.
Okay.
Just kind of give him the buck up, the pat and the little push to go, and then he just kind of commits.
All right. I would say make a
Yeah.
command test, and because you did some pretty good roleplay with that, I would say make it like a plus. Let's say like a 10, plus 10.
Thank.
Remember,
Fact. Do
Uh,
I want to fate that? Sorry, what were you saying?
you have to kill somebody in the alleyway in your first day.
Is this like the lesson from Tigo's sword school?
You kill a random
You
guy
have
who
to get
just bought a
blooded
hooker.
by killing somebody like a fucking Spartan.
Totally worth it.
I don't know, Greg. That seems kind of fucked up.
But yeah, Watchmaker, if you wanted, you could fade it, but it's up to you.
That one's up to you. I mean, I could see if I can like wave him over because I notice him. 'cause
Maybe what we can do is like you quote unquote notice, so that kind of adds another social pressure thing. Like, oh god, he sees me interested in approaching him to learn how to sword fight. So, yeah, sorry, does that make sense?
Yeah, like I can see about waving him over. Like I guess I notice him. Let's see. What do I do to wave him over?
see. I don't know if I'd call it a roll.
I mean, I could intimidate him from like a
Yeah.
distance. I could like look at him and just like, yeah, come over here.
I could also try to give him that push and say, like, he likes people who are direct. Just go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I would say Chigo would, if you wanted to wave him over, but like do it in a way that is kind of forceful, like less of a like a beckoning and more of a command, you could go ahead and make an intimidate, and because Watchmaker's assisting, you could add a +10 to that as well.
All right, let's try this. Really? Look at that!
Oh, come
Well,
on!
I'm gonna roll for this noble as well, so let's see if he like he could fuck. No, he rolled.
No, I can't. It would be a dick move to say it.
He's still okay. He's looking like he does want to go over, but he's just showing a lot more, like a lot of reluctance. It's like you are pushing him to go see Tigo, but at the same time, he
is terrified.
Yeah, he wants to. You can tell that at least, but he also is just not making that push.
Let's see. I could just like walk over and is like scare the shit out of him. Let's see. What are my skill sets for this? My choices are murder, 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 and murder.
Always good. But have you considered murder?
In
Gar could
all the
step
above.
in. Makes things a little more obvious.
I guess I can walk up to him and I'm just like talk to him. Cause like this guy's clearly a chicken shit.
Okay. So you...
Mentor that young man.
Yeah, I will mentor that young man.
All right. So you want to just walk up and talk to him?
Yeah, I guess I'll walk up to him.
Okay.
And like I guess I'll like crack my fingers or whatever, like my hands, and it's like I can see it in your eyes. You want to ask me something.
Yes. I was hoping maybe I could get some dueling tips from you. I'm sorry. My name is Lord Karan of House Karan.
House Karan. Okay.
With a
Karan.
I have found myself in a situation that is going to lead, I suspect, to a duel, and I am not confident I will be walking away from that duel. So I've heard about your duel and thought maybe he could help.
Lord, this guy is so dead. What experience do you have with dueling?
I have dueling experience with the finest duelist my family could afford. I've been dueling for the past 4 months. He does like a very weak smile.
How long have I been like killing people? Just like since we started, like in time.
More than 4 months.
Yeah, no, this you would have probably been doing this all the weeks and different months spaced out. Plus like minor missions that we hadn't covered. That would probably be at least a year. Plus the stuff you'd been doing previously. Before joining the Inquisition.
Presumably took a shitload of life on your death world one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think like this guy's so dead either way.
Plus all your practical experience as well.
Well, you definitely want to adopt him and just take the right approach.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, but I kind of want to find like, well, who's the problem?
Oh, they're not here. They are, well, it's my older brother. And I might have had a little too much to drink and just mentioned that I probably should inherit the lion's share of the house, considering I had been given nothing in the will beyond a small stipend.
At this point, Gar is going to walk over and join them, seeing his
he's clearly nervous.
bannerman conversing with this young lad. And as he's talking about having had too much to drink on this prior occasion, Gar's going to kind of join the conversation and be like, "No such thing as too much to drink," and hand him a fresh glass of wine.
He thanks you and downs it.
Okay.
Very nervous, but
Okay.
Dude,
So what kind of retinue does he have?
no one. It's just him.
Just him. Wow.
Yeah, he's
So he's nobody.
literally just one guy trying to make a house or not die.
That he just kind of rattles on. He's like a fast talker. He's just like, I've been invited. A couple of friends of mine have invited me. They had an extra invitation to this party, and I really needed to get away from the house for a bit, so I came here. But I'll be back at the end of the week, and my brother is there. He's been dueling for the past 15 years. Made quite a name for himself as a duelist. So I'm just hoping maybe I can hold my own for a bit before he kills me.
you've come to the right place, young man.
Well, the first thing he needs to do is to, like, hold himself in a more confident posture.
Yes. The first step to winning a duel is confidence. Stand up straight.
He stands up straight. Like, you don't even have to make a command roll with this kid.
Don't you feel better?
Kind of a noodle. Just
Uh,
pull a noodle.
Kinda. He still, bizarrely standing up straight, he still looks like he's slouched. You're not sure how.
Come
Yeah.
on, I know you can stand up straighter. You're not that short.
Posture is everything.
He like kind of stands up straighter, like puffs out his chest a bit,
There you go.
There, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
holds it for a moment. Would you be maybe you could duel in my place?
Well, that's not exactly how we do things here at House Adela. We believe in pulling
Well, if
oneself up by one's bootstraps.
Like, out of character, like, one, if I do in this place, I'm taking the house for myself and we're just merging it.
Also, paying excessive tuition for dueling school to us, House Adela.
Oh,
Oh,
sounds like modern education.
I will go. If you have a dueling school, I will go to that. I don't care the cost. I will pay whatever you want.
Yes, you will.
Whackety, and I can't stress this enough. Smackety do.
Yes.
Anything that will get me away from my brother for a few years.
All right.
There you
well,
go.
yeah, hang with us. I think we can probably come to an arrangement.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
may
you-
wind up involved in a giant galactic conspiracy of peacekeeping.
Yeah, but you will become a better duelist.
And you will not be near your brother.
You know, yeah, sure. I'm cool. I'm perfectly fine with that.
We
Let's.
just made a brand new acolyte. This is how he got. That's his backstory.
He's our first dueling school acolyte candidate.
You do know
He
if,
survives
like,
dueling school. He gets to maybe be an
And all I got was this lousy inquisitorial posting.
this would be an awesome way if you were adding somebody into the game.
Yeah, they're just like a shitty little noble who like just.
Like, weren't you nervous? Like, yeah, it turns out they like side conditioned me for like 86 hours continuous.
I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing the Inquisition has done.
So, do we really want to like adopt him in this way, and like I can train him like on and off, like between days?
Well,
I
it
guess?
depends on how the
Depends if you survive.
inquisitorial like identity thing picks up and carries off. Like, if we decide we want to try to like rebuild the house, which is what I was suggesting to
Yeah.
Ian this week.
I'd be kind of
Yeah,
interested.
because Garb like planted a really strong seed with the dueling school.
Yeah, he did. I would say play it by ear for right now. But you currently have a noble who you have managed to just successfully
Who's gal?
adopt.
Question
Yeah.
mark.
I guess I can train
Oh
him.
God, fuck.
Like in between, like I guess what would it happen? Like automatically and kind of in between like days and missions. Like I work with him.
Keep in mind, our goal here is to kind of use him as a pawn to start shit.
Yeah.
So, like, at first, that will be his role, and if he survives,
Yeah.
then you can get into the rest of that.
I like your like evil Jedi like secret test of character here.
I actually do like that.
Yeah, this is like the exact kind of what the fucking.
All right. Well, you do have it. So you have A.
So we've expanded our retinue with a level 1 newbie.
Let's see here. Yeah.
His name is Karan, and he doesn't know how to hold a fork.
Level bumfuck.
So now that we've got him, what do we do with him?
He gets another drink of wine and like downs
He's a
it.
level 99 dragon. Send him. He's the puller for the group.
After having a few drinks now, he's starting to loosen up, especially now that he's like talked to you.
That makes sense, yeah.
And we haven't murdered him.
Well, as we're chatting with him, we can start planting our seeds that we've been trying to plant in general.
Yeah.
We can give him we can tell him about our made-up rumor that we heard.
Yeah.
He did not make up.
But it suits our purposes.
Find out who else he knows here. Like, does he have any friends here? Why is he hanging out by himself if his friends came with him?
Yep.
I think that one is a little self-explanatory.
I just want to hear what he has to say.
Asking him that, he's just like, well, not really my friends. More that they are nobles who maybe wanted to have a few more people come with them. They said something I overheard about a pig party. I don't know what that is. But
There's going to be some sort of education today.
they kind of dropped me pretty quick once they got here. But honestly, food's good, wine's good. I don't have to talk to anybody. So it's not.
You know what this kid could do? Different backstory entirely. Is literally live in eternal partying so he doesn't have to go back and face the duel. Like, if he ever stops being at week-long parties, he'll die.
Yeah.
Just the party nomad.
That is kind of where he's at.
But that's a good party. I mean, I prefer to be, back home in my library, but can't do that right now.
Oh, so he's a scholar.
Sure, I'm somewhat of a scholar, I guess. I like reading.
Yeah, reading what?
History. I can tell you a lot about the history of the sector.
Ooh.
Really?
That sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, sector was conquered during the end of the Great Crusade, before the Horus Heresy. Then, the Pandemonium had, well, before the Pandemonium, that big warp storm, the sector governor had declared himself independent of the Imperium, and they were able to successfully prevent him from seceding. But then the Pandemonium occurred, and that threw everything into out of whack. And then the Pandemonium's died down, everything's starting to get back to normal. But so yeah, that's the basic history of the sector here.
Good, good.
I would assume his lore skills like
profiling. Was that suggesting that he only did a shallow dive, or is he actually pretty well informed?
That was a shallow dive. It was, as far as you could tell, a very concise, if short, history of the sector.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to, you could pry in and get more information.
Okay. Well, what sort of specific questions do we have? You want to know about the current stuff with House Vixus?
It's like, oh, I know House Vixus. I researched a lot before I came here. So yeah, House.
They've been doing very well, but are now having some difficulties. You know anything about that?
He calls over waiter, gets another glass of wine, and downs it before starting. Yeah, House Vixus was one of the major noble houses on the sector. They are effectively the rulers of planet Ralia, acting as the planet's governor on behalf of the Imperium. But they have started losing influence over the past few years. House Holger has been very active against them, especially concerning the rumors of minor cult activity within their house. Somewhat similar to yours, at which point he goes a little wide-eyed, or so I've heard.
Everybody gets one.
But yes, House Holgar has been very persistent in attempting to knock down House Vixus, especially after the whole incident involving the attempt at the House Vixus Holger marriage that failed due to, let's just say, a minor scandal I don't wish to mention at the Vixus retreat. But needless to say, they've been enemies since.
Kind of curious about the scandal, but
You'd have to lean into it a little more.
bring him another drink.
Yeah, I'll lean into the scandal.
Right.
Scandal at the retreat. That was quite a story, says Gar, hoping that he'll now tell the story.
Oh, I could never repeat it, especially in the very home of our gracious host here. Unless, of course,
Nonsense.
how
No
Bring
one
him
can
another.
agree.
Bring him another drink that's a little stronger.
how does Gar want to lean into this kid?
I would say, well,
Gar's
you know
just
what,
gonna
I'm
be
not
like,
gonna-
"Oh, you're fine. Nobody's listening."
We are in a corner, aren't we? Kind of like out of the way.
You're
not sure.
kind of out of the way.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was gonna suggest, and I realized, like, Ian asked you, shut the fuck up, me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Gar's just like, "Oh, keep your voice down. Nobody's gonna hear you.
Okay.
We're all friends here. We can talk. You know."
All right. You've spent time plying him over, giving him drinks, being friendly with him. So if you want to make a charm test at a +20, you can do so.
Plus 20, you said?
+20, yeah. It's just the way that like the book does
What?
skills.
Good thing you had
Wow.
those fate
That was
points.
terrible.
Wow, that sucks.
I will fake that.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's not happening.
What the fuck?
I don't really remember the details right now. I'll talk. Maybe once we're at your school, I could be, willing to tell a little bit more. When we're not at Stormwind Peak, at the planet that House Vixus is in control of.
Well, that's totally understandable, I guess.
But, needless to say, it was quite the interesting story that I will not tell you any more about. Because it was so fantastically strange, but I could not provide any more details as it would be incredibly rude of me to do so.
How can you leave us like on such a cliffhanger and not let us know more?
I don't know, roll better.
Well, he's not gonna say that. Well, I can always kill him.
I mean, yeah.
Slow your roll. You're
mean-
back to light switch, Tigo.
I
There's
mean-
function and murder.
I know. No, but I'm just speaking out of character. Well, like, do you really want to learn how to do or not?
I mean, you could, if you wanted to lean into this kid, like a little, like if Tigo wants to lean into him. in a
You
way.
could say something of like turn into a lesson about courage.
Yeah, that's just thinking like, well,
This is your first dueling lesson.
your first dueling lesson, you have the stones to say what you want to say.
All right. This would be a command test at a +20.
Command, wow.
Just because you're approaching this as like instructor to student.
That's commerce. Okay. Plus 20.
Yeah, because he's.
Yeah, so if you're not trained, it'll counterbalance it.
What is... So, it's set to strength, I guess, right?
Is it?
Mine's it's set to S.
It's. Do you have a talent that does that? Otherwise, it's normally fellowship.
Yeah, normally it's fellowship.
It's just, yeah, because it's set to S. Like
I think
here.
that's you might have accidentally flipped that because it's one of those things where if you take a certain talent, you can use a different ability.
I was gonna
Okay.
take a quick old peek here.
Yeah, I changed it to fellowship.
Okay.
It was on S.
Might have just been like a mistake on the character sheets part, but yeah, if
That's
you
why I
want
was
to.
like, wow, I could have put in weapon willpower. Okay, not weapon skill. That would be. I think I would shit himself. Plus 20.
Yes, plus 20.
Let's see.
Oh wow. Okay, you rolled really well.
Nice.
All right.
I was just thinking, I used up the terrible roll.
Yeah, you
like-
loosened the lid
What should-
switches.
Like you mentioned this, he's like, you're right. Okay. First lesson, but this means you're taking me on as a student, correct? For dueling.
You show a little bit of spine, and I will keep teaching you.
All right. Well, this was about 200 years ago that the scion of House Vixus was set to marry the daughter of the head of House Holger. House Holger being a rising star in terms of noble houses, having been able to secure a number of different trade routes, various mines, even being a command of a planet where an Imperial Guard unit was raised out of. Very impressive work. Like that Guard unit added a lot to their prestige, and a lot of members of their family then went on to serve in the Imperial Guard under their planet's banner and served with distinction. So it was considered to be a very good match for both houses. Unfortunately, the scion of House Vixus had rumors of like minor cult activity. This was under the guise of following the Imperial cult, but some rumors had persisted of like a dark power worship. I'm not familiar with the details. I do my best to stay away from forbidden knowledge. But with this scandal and these rumors approaching, House Holger decided to marry the daughter to another house that was a ally of House Vixus, but was a minor house. It was considered a massive snub. House Vixus responded by, we assume, having her killed. She was killed in an explosion during the wedding, and the fallout for this very nearly resulted in a war between the houses, but where it managed to get smoothed over by the sector governor at the time, who did not want two noble houses fighting, and especially did not want House Holger to use their Imperial Guard unit to attack Vixus. But it's created bad blood between the two houses ever since. And
like 200 years ago, he said?
And this happened
Yeah.
200 years ago, yep. And unfortunately, that sector governor died and was then the new sector governor is the one who then attempted to secede from the Imperium.
So, this is out of character, but my question is, should we try to kind of play the like heresy cult thing and try to get information on them that way?
I don't know if we want to
I don't
lean
know.
right into Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, like I don't know if that's. I guess that could be a fallback card.
We
It's
could
a-
try and get in good with House Holger, since they being the rival of Vixus, and their rivalry revolving around these rumors of heresy around Vixus, they might be able to tell us some things.
Yeah, like I'm wondering if they know something about heresy and they're just kind of like keeping it on the DL.
I bet
Maybe.
they do. Or they know something but can't prove it, or they can prove something but it hasn't been the right time. They need to weaken Vixus more first. I bet there's something there.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
How do we get it?
The
Can we send our fool to go be friends with them? No.
your young Lord Charon has
Being our
a
up-and-coming duelist.
another
Yes.
glass of wine in his hand and a drunken smile on his face.
Well done.
You're quite the knowledgeable guy.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, and Vixus, despite the two houses hating one another, had to invite Haas Holger here to at least pretend that there was no bad blood
Bad.
between the two. But they're not, fortunately, they've made sure to stay far apart from one another. Wouldn't want any situation like the House Edda and your House Della. Although, well done on that. Yes, I'm quite eager to learn from you, Lord, Sir. What is your name?
Martin Delacroix.
Yes, Delacroix. Thank you. I'll soon be able to say I went to a Delacroix swordsmanship school.
Oh Lord. I guess I could give him like a I don't know, like some like stance tips or something real quick, just to like.
Yeah, you don't want to give him a real dueling lesson when he's fucking blasted. But you can
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah, I give him like a couple like stances, is like
yeah, do this.
show me your dueling stance or something, just to like get in.
His attempt at a dueling stance is a very basic, like, you have had some swordsmanship training on your death world from like the various swords masters, and you can tell that this stance is very basic. It is the absolute beginner's stance that is merely how to not lose your balance. But
Right.
as he attempts to like move back and forth, as if approaching or backing away from a dueling opponent, despite even his drunkenness, you can see that it is very like amateurish in terms of like the foot movement. That he, even sober, would probably be tripping over himself, and is definitely not. He does not. Yeah, he doesn't have the muscle memory to like do what he needs to do.
Okay, so let me see. So I'll fix his stance for this. Like here, you need to stand this way.
Okay.
You need to like hold your sword this way,
All right.
just like that, and it's like, and stop looking at the floor. Look at who's you're fighting.
All right. So, using like Watchmaker, just more accurately having Watchmaker just stand there with like a cake in his hand, as
Dun, dun.
the dueling
Yeah,
opponent.
Yeah, you don't want to be killed by a guy with a cake. I'll be very disappointed in you.
So you show him like proper dueling stance, how to move, how to hold his arm. Like when he attempts to like look at the floor, you make sure his like head stays up. You just snap at him whenever like he's like looks down. It's like, look at the opponent, look at him. It's like, yeah.
Look at him. He will kill you with a cake. Do you want to be the guy
It's
that died to a
happened
cake?
before.
Do you want to be the guy that died to a cake?
Maybe. Do I get to eat it when I'm dying?
No.
Oh.
Uh,
It's like
This
kid,
guy clearly went to the Edward Izzard School of Sword Fighting.
kid. Your brother is going to kill you and piss down your throat if
Oh.
all you think about is cake.
I don't want that.
All right. Well, I'll do better. Yes. So, this is so basic, like in terms of like teaching him. You show him like a better stance. You show him how to move, how to hold his arm. Probably most important to actually look at the dude you're fighting. So you do see some noticeable improvement despite him being kind of wasted. He's you probably could
He knows
teach
so
him.
little that anything is an improvement.
Yeah, everywhere's up.
Yeah. But, showing some progress. Pretty impressive considering he's also drunk.
All right. I mean, not bad for being wasted.
Thank you. Try my best.
Yeah, try to do it while you're sober.
We'll work on that. We got time.
Yeah, we got time. We
Okay.
will fix you up.
Yes.
You're gonna like the way you fence. I guarantee it.
Yeah. No drinking after this day until after you beat your brother.
I swear I will not have another drink until I have beaten my brother, or die trying.
Yeah, because if you do, I will kill you.
He just like show up to the duel, spare his life, and then immediately murder him.
He puts a waiter passes by and he puts the half full wine glass on the tray.
Good man, good man.
You're learning. That was lesson 1.
You got
Alright.
potential.
Oh, that's funny.
Potential. He's like purely scared.
Watch, like, in the 42nd millennium, he's the greatest duelist who's ever lived. Like, you taught him perfectly. You taught him so well that you made, like, what you would have been if you had had your instruction.
I mean, actually,
So what can we have him? What task can we give him that will get him in with House
Holgor
oh, Holger.
or Vixus.
Holger? But so that he can get us information without telling him that his job is to go get us information. Because
He's a bit too inept to be trusted with that.
Yeah, right now he's
Yeah.
completely useless. But like,
so we can say to him, this is out of character. We can say to him, we actually would like to return from here with a few students for our not new with a few new students for our fencing school. Maybe, and since House Holger is on the way up, maybe you can talk to some of the junior members of the retinue over there and get a sense of who might be a good candidate.
Oh, I could do that. Yes. This is another lesson for the school.
Yes, recruiting students is an important lesson for our
Yeah.
school.
yeah, it's the first step into building your confidence.
Also, our school works kind of like a pyramid scheme.
Multi-level mastering.
I can go talk to them, get some more students. Yes.
You must buy the sacred timeshare.
To be fair, it's just like if you pay enough money, I will send my spiralizer to duel for you, and you will win.
High pressure condo sales in 40K are a whole nother.
Just a guy storms into your fucking bedroom with a bolt gun to your head. Do you love great deals? You can't beat this one.
I could see his brother. He's like, I have more money. And it's like, yeah, but you're not as entertaining. And
I
you're a
have
dick.
the spiralizer.
Plus,
This guy takes out like some like mono sword, and I just like bust out 2 powers. So he's like, yeah, let's get this on the way.
Yeah, that would actually be a good way to, if the brother shows up, we can make another dramatic political scene to represent the rising star of the house with that. Like, just be like, get your power swords,
They're like,
and you just point out that the older brother trying to fence the younger, with their relative skill levels is like him trying to duel you with his mono sword when you've got the power swords.
Yeah.
It's like that's the skill level difference between him and his brother and him and you.
nah.
oh my god, it would be so great. He's like, nope, let's do this.
I like how we've officially turned this entire mission into we write this planet's backstory for the next generation.
I guess it doesn't technically have one currently, so yeah, it's just like a blank slate that the Inquisition does as it pleases with.
This guy's gonna like take his
this
house
is like,
back.
you know what this is fancy Necromunda. Like, imagine like an Inquisitorial Acolyte recruit game of Necromunda involving like nobles.
Like this is like the
What's the
this is like a 40K where like you know how you have like that tavern like keeper or something, like you hire the heroes.
Mhm.
We build the heroes.
what's Necromunda? Is Necromunda a different game, a different region?
It's a planet that
Where
has
Celia Escher is from, by the way.
yeah, it has its
I read
like
Clovis comic. That was quite amusing. They were talking about
welcome.
Necromunda.
yeah, they're from Necromunda, and it's technically like it's a 40K game that doesn't use like as many of the miniatures, so I guess you could call it like a kind of like a 40K
Like,
like the tabletop light. Yeah, you don't have to get like a bunch like 1,000-point army. You could just like work with like a small, basically a bunch of gangs that fight one another. And yeah,
And they make popular Inquisitorial recruits because it was an early game set in the setting, and people who tend to survive there are motherfuckers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Selena's from House Escher, one of like the main houses in the game.
Yeah, Gar definitely has a Clovis the Redeemer lunchbox in his gear.
Yeah, that Necromunda game is coming out this year too.
Yep. Yeah, they're making a version of it for Steam.
Nice.
Oh,
But
50.
yeah, this. So yeah, Lord Karan is. You've told him that you want to get more students, especially from the Rising Star of House Holger. He's like, I could go talk to them. At which point he just kind of like walks away a little like, maybe not in a straight line.
He's a little more confident than he was 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's like standing up straight, puffing out his chest, walking like he's got a stick up his butt, and like approaches like the retinue of like the you actually pointed him towards the House Holger's cadet house. But he walks up to them. So he walks about like 10 meters away from you and goes to them and starts talking to them. And I'm going to make 2 rolls, one for him to start with, and then one for the other house. Okay.
Do we get to see this?
See the results.
And talks to them. He leaves for a few minutes, talks to them for a few minutes, walks back to you. It's like, they didn't want to come.
What do you mean they didn't want to come? None of them?
What did you say?
I said that they have the house swordsmanship school and they will teach you how to fight with a sword. And then I did the stance you showed me. And then they said, no, thank you. We already have another house. Like, we already have our people know how to duel. And then I said, thank you for your time. And I walked away.
You are a terrible salesman. Gar shakes his head.
He's the regional account manager, though.
Figures.
I could try again with somebody else. Want me to talk to House Vixus?
No.
Oh, good. I didn't want to talk to House Vixus.
Who's allied with House?
Vixus?
Not
Or
Vixus.
the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, House Holger? I mean, they have the various cadet branches. They were very active, spreading out their house. Probably the house that is their closest ally, that's separate family, is House Lency. That was the house that the daughter who was killed married into. Technically, the marriage went through. They just died 5 minutes after it occurred.
Right.
But
Okay, well, you're gonna go talk to them, and you're gonna not show them any stances or any moves. But instead, your sales pitch will revolve around the marvelous duel that was fought earlier today. You want to have the focus on those that are already trained and not on you as a new cadet.
that's a good idea. Probably should.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna have Watchmaker will very easily talk over this kid.
I actually wasn't trying to, but what he'll say. All right. Actually, what you'll do is tell them that House Adela believes in raising everybody's appreciation for the art of dueling, not just advancing their own interests. So they are casting a new student to go find another new student to come back with them, and each student who wants to join must come back with one more student who will go with them.
Yeah.
All right.
Literally multi-level market it.
I can do that.
Pyramid scream.
I'll go find House Lency and get them to join us, and I will remember your lessons. And I
Be
will.
persuasive now.
All right,
Like
so
out of character, watch this kid like find his future wife or something doing this.
or future murderer. Let's find out.
One or the other. You know.
Both. It could
All
be
right.
both.
So he approaches a house. He approaches House Lency, and so he gives. He goes away. You can't hear what he's saying. You see him talking. He doesn't do the stance. He has attempted to persuade them, and now they are going to see. Oh my god. So he rolled a crit, not quite a crit success, and they rolled a crit fail.
Wow.
Aha!
He brings over 3 members of House Lency.
Yes.
I found some students! Master
Excellent.
Delacroix. Or whatever your name is.
Excellent.
Delacroix. Martin Delacroix.
Delacroix.
Sounds like a duel. I'll
They
never come
call
up with a
me
better name.
Dick Smasher Burgundy. Oh, why do they do that? I don't know, but they do it.
So these 3 members, younger guys, and you've seen them throughout. So it's two young men, a younger woman. Just like we're all siblings. We're members of House Lency. We had heard about your duel earlier. It was absolutely fantastic. I didn't think anybody could beat the House Adela, or no, House Eba duelists in a fight, but very impressive. If you're training, we'd be very happy to come and learn from you.
Nice.
Good. Your learnings will begin today.
All right. Perfectly acceptable. Well, our family went and contact you with the matter of the payment, of course.
Yes, yes.
Of course.
We'll deal with that. Have your people talk to my people.
We only charge for sustaining the art. This is a not-for-profit sword school. We appreciate the artistry.
In the back of Watchmaker's head, he just remembers that the Inquisition once handed him a check with the infinity symbol written in it.
Can I keep this? No.
This is your pocket money. That's like your grandma's sending you pocket money type of
Pretty
thing.
much the Inquisition's gonna run this place.
Yeah, like the entire planet's gonna realize in 800 years, every single house has just been more inquisitorial politics against each other, and every single one is a loyal member of the Inquisition.
So
I think I might actually pay to see that.
The rise of House Tiggle became the whole planet.
let's see here. Yes, at this point, the 3 people, they're like, oh yes, perfectly acceptable. We're quite happy to. House Lency is very interested in ensuring the survival of the art of dueling, as well as making sure it flourishes. So we'll be quite happy to join you.
Excellent.
I can write a book now. It's like how I went from a deaf world to the Inquisition to a duelist trainer.
Yeah, we've lived a life.
With over 15,000 people murdered at my hands. 40K bestseller.
40K bestseller.
Now we have a squad of stooges that we need to come up with tasks for.
Dude,
You have 4 people. Yeah, he rolled really well, and they rolled pretty shitty for preventing his advances.
I'm just curious, like, what was his cutoff point on that roll? Like, to actually succeed?
It was, you were getting the plus because you had been helping him, he was getting the plus, so I probably would have put it like a 40.
Get it to crit success.
And not quite, it was a 7, but it was pretty close.
Wow.
Nice.
And they got a
It was
97.
so animated. It was
Killed
so
the last
animated.
After having built up his confidence a bit, yeah, he was able to do his sales, an actual sales pitch, like a good one. So you have 3 students.
So tell me about
Let's use the bathroom.
like.
Yes.
So this house, we're going to use. I'm assuming by the sounds of it, we're going to use them and teach these kids. How old are these kids?
Looking at them, they probably wouldn't have received Rejuve treatment. They would probably be in their mid-20s. So they would, honestly, most people would call them babies. In the grand scheme of things, they would be
They're children.
The new kid. Yeah, they're children who are only just getting out and are expected to live up to nobles who are hundreds of years old, 150 to 250 years old by the time they die.
They've hit 10% of their lifespan.
Yeah, basically. but they are able to go out and actually like do
Things.
like represent the house, and they would have basically received training from
Yeah.
the like as early as possible to right now, so they would be okay to let off the leash and would be expected to have some additional training.
Yeah. So like their house would want them to like do something like this.
Yeah, this is basically the reason why they were able to like come and like serve at the house. Plus, your duel was really good. Like you had done such a good job on the duel that the like
The head of the house would not want would want them to with these skills so that the house is never embarrassed.
yeah, you basically did such a good job both in the duel, selling the fact that you have a swordsmanship school, that a lower house like House Lency would be it would be acceptable for them to send kids to your fake
Yeah.
school that now Selena Escher has to like fucking whip
Create.
up right away. Congratulations on giving her like.
Well, think about it. She wants to be an inquisitor, so now she has a training school that we've made for her.
This is true, yeah. She probably wouldn't actually be annoyed. She probably would be happy by the fact that she has
getting
a
more
place
responsibilities.
that she can like basically weed out acolytes to recruit from.
Yeah. The dueling school of the Gondolans.
The Gondolans' dueling school. Well,
Oh my god. Let's see.
honestly, it'd probably be something like the Adela Delacroix School of Dueling or something to that effect.
Yeah. Our condolences to your victim. You heard that one, Matt?
Our condolences to your victim.
That's the school motto.
What'd I miss?
Our condolences to your victim. That's the school motto.
Nice.
Tigo's first lesson. All right, this is called the Spiralizer. It's like, did you all see
This will
that?
Fucking flip it around like a ceiling fan.
Did you see that? See what? Look over there. There's like 15 dead people.
We're gonna need a couple of montages for this one.
All right, but you do have your students, and they, well, sort of. I guess they're not students if they actually go to the school, but
You have students for the non-existent school that would exist momentarily soon.
so you have one drunk kid from
The lesser house.
the lesser house, three sober
Sober
kids from a.
Lesser
It'd be
house.
called I call it a minor house, but
Minor
it's
house.
definitely a house that's above.
Poverty.
Yeah. Actually, his house wouldn't be like really low. He would probably be around the same level as them. It's just that he is the second son who's on the out of the house of his house.
Yeah.
So his own personal prestige is pretty low.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But House Lency being allied to Holger is more important for like them.
The Lency retinue.
But so the three of them is like, well, we can we'll arrange transport to your school. We'll have to head back to House Lency. Just arrange some of our business there, and at what point we can go to school. How long is the semester, by the by?
Thinking here. Where's Gar? He probably has like a whole like curriculum already like planned out in his head.
Gar is in the bathroom.
We
That's right. You poop in 40K. You can't prove otherwise.
That's reasonable. We're still establishing on a case-by-case basis, which is part of the reason there's such high demand. We try to match needs as exactly as possible.
Make a deception roll. We can do it at +20 because they're pretty inclined to believe you.
So that will negate my minus 25.
Does this look to one another as like case by case basis? Are you
With your times and availabilities, you see.
okay?
And starting skill level, and then we kind of like Mr. Drunky over here.
We're gonna invent the McDojo.
Well, first you have to make Dueling Kid, the Dueling Kid, starring.
Why? Can I actually roll deceive too to help Matt?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, if you wanted to roll a deception of +20 as well, you could.
is it +20? Okay.
Yep.
Wow. I just like fat fingered 1,030. That would have like been.
That would have been a good bonus.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
All right. So. Yeah. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Do you have any fate left?
Yes. Let's try that.
Yeah, the game's being a real butt to us today.
Yeah, so
I guess it's probably sampled.
There we go.
Okay.
Feels buddy.
Chico at one point almost forgets his cover identity, refers to himself as Sensei Tiagi. But catches.
Because I got in my pitch, I was like, yeah, like we do like the starting skill, like point of skill.
He's like, okay, so what you got to do is you got to invest like at least a few hundred XP into your weapon skill, and I would definitely recommend bumping your strength up to get that. And he's like, wait, hold on.
Oh, future knowledge.
Hang on.
He's like, no. Tigo is like trying to. It's like
Explain that there's the different starting level per like people.
yeah, Tigo builds off of what Watchmaker said. So Watchmaker didn't really sell it, but what Tigo's able to like get it, and so now this like the three are like, okay, yes, this is a custom class, case by case basis, small student body, but very high.
That was what
level.
I was gunning for, and then that just landed it.
Yeah, so
Cool.
Tigo's able to like pick up that, and so the two of you working together are able to sell it, and so they believe you. Like, okay, good. Well, we'll certainly do our best. Alice Lency is very interested in having highly skilled duelists that we can utilize. So, well, I guess we'll see you in a few weeks, months time at most. At your at House Adela's compound.
Yes.
I believe so. If we also like out of character, if we don't have it ready by then, I say the Inquisition puts them on a black ship, and then they wake up in space, and we're like, "This is." They never get to leave, so they find out they're on an Inquisitorial ship. But we tell them that we just take them away, and they have to do their fencing in the void to make sure there's no people trying to gain the secrets.
We could certainly discuss this at the. We'll have to discuss this with Selena Escher, I guess.
She's just like, we're gonna all get back there like, hey, we made that false noble house complete with famous swordmaster school you wanted us to do. She's like, what? What about the intelligence on? Fuck, we just turn around and get right back in the ship.
Oh yeah, we should have that.
Yeah, we don't want to get a little. We don't want to get too wrapped up in our own thing
It's
here.
fucking fun, though, is the thing. This
Yeah.
is weirdly compelling.
Hey, that's the point. Yeah, I want to have fun. And what's the worst, Selena?
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
bad. She can do
Yeah.
pretty bad.
She has a training, like she has Acolyte training now. She has pretty much a house, and if this clown actually kills his brother, she'll have two houses, like pretty much under her
Yeah,
command.
we've got a pretty great, like, inquisitorial resource we're starting here.
True. That being said, from the data slate you were getting about House Adela, the Inquisitor who's actually like running House Adela is not. He's not an enemy, but he's not an ally to Hellscythe. He just allows the house name to be used as cover for other Inquisitors.
Oh boy.
You're only
So that's gonna be interesting.
We should
Well,
probably send him a gift.
Well, to be fair, he should be happy because now his importance to the Inquisition goes up.
well,
If he agrees with the ideological grounds of it, but yeah.
Oh, we can just remove him.
Did you just discuss amongst yourself killing an Inquisitor?
He can be relocated to death.
Well,
Look, if anybody's relocating an Inquisitor, it's not us.
Yeah, it's not us.
Above our pay grade.
We set up like this really good thing. It's up to them to figure out.
yeah, that Inquisitor's just like already like dotting the T's, crossing the I's for like sending some Grey Knights after you.
in a gondola, like a space gondola.
We'll all have 0 like fate points and we'll still survive somehow. How are you people still alive?
Get good, scrub.
Keep good scrub. But after this discussion with everyone, Lord Vixus comes back. Just the announcement over speakers like, it's very nearly to midnight. For our first night of celebration, we'll be celebrating for the rest of Independence Week. Please continue to party, to entertain yourselves. There'll be plenty more food throughout the evening, more dancing, more wine, and any other options that you would want to amuse yourselves. We'll be going on a hunt tomorrow morning to entertain ourselves. Whoever wishes to join me, please feel free to do so. First comes, first served. There's only so many spots available for the hunt. But continue to enjoy yourselves, continue to enjoy each other's company, and I wish to provide a good night to all of you. I am going to be retiring for the evening to prepare myself for tomorrow.
Okay. I think we definitely want to get on board with this hunt. Take our
Alright.
new,
I'm picturing Gar already putting our names on the sign-up sheet.
yeah, I'm definitely signing us up. And we should try and take our new little buddies with us. See how they fare. Test their skills.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
not wrong.
So all right. So your students then are.
While we hunt, we can pump them for information. So we specifically went for,
Building a
if
school and
not
getting information.
Hagar, somebody who was associated with them. So the 3 we got are from Lency, and they could maybe tell us more about House Vixus's sordid past, or what they might know about it.
Yeah. So did Gar tell them he's signing them all up for like all? I guess it'd be 7 of you for the hunt tomorrow.
Yeah, Gar will mention that in passing.
All right.
The 3 members of
By the
House.
way, don't get too wasted because we're going on the hunt, all of us.
The 3 members of House Lency, like they looked at one another. The kind of head of them. It's like House Lency and House Vixus do tend to keep a bit of distance between the 2 of us, between our 2 houses. Ever since the split between the alliance between our houses, we've been a bit at odds with one another, and we've been able to prevent any entanglements by just keeping ourselves at arm's length. Do you think it's a good idea to have us join the hunt tomorrow? I don't know if that Lord Vixus would consider that an insult.
Well, House Adela is a neutral party, and since you'll be with us, I think we could probably spin that
Favorably.
favorably, yeah.
Well,
Just follow our lead and don't start any stuff with them, and I think you'll be okay.
not very well. I suppose a hunt for a few hours with a member of House Vixus won't be the worst thing in the world. We'll.
And I'll tell you, young folk, pay close attention to the moves we make and what we're doing here. Pay close attention on the hunt tomorrow, because while there may be past bad blood, that's no reason not to keep one's eyes and ears open. Getting close to one's enemies in a relatively safe way can bring many advantages.
All right.
Or it
Well.
just kind of implies that if we're careful and they're not stupid, then this can turn to the advantage of their house, not cause a problem.
We'll certainly be on our best behavior, but I'm sure you've heard of the incident relating to House Lency, House Holger, and House Vixus.
Oh yes, we're well aware.
And so you know that the young scion of House Lency was murdered by a member of House Vixus, correct?
Yes, we know. Yes.
We will do our best, but
This is
the
this
lesson.
is what you'll do when there will be friction on this hunt. If you are challenged to a duel, your instructor will step in, and as you are beholden to him and he is beholden to his lord, we do not allow our initiates to fight to the death. Not until they have proven their worth holding the sword in their hands. So any fights will be to blood, not to the death.
All right, we'll
They
do our
could-
best.
They could refuse to give you that right, or they could demand to the death and call it a political ploy on your house's part, but you're there at our behest. They would have to attack an unrelated house to conduct this, and they may not think it's worth the risk.
Very well. We will be on our best behavior if possible, but I did want to warn you that the lesson of the murder of Scion Lency was a lesson passed down for our house for multiple generations. The wound is considered as fresh today as it was almost 200 years ago.
House Adele understands. We've had our own, feuds,
We've noticed, yes.
and
I don't need to tell you
I
about
think we know how to handle these matters. Out of character, we're doing this on purpose. We're trying to put these people together and start some shit.
Gotta shake the bug jar.
No, I kind of figured, yeah. All right. With that, a lot of nobles start to like file out of the of this like grand hall to either side rooms to continue partying, or to like a like guest rooms where they can take a break and go like try and sleep. So the room does very quickly clear out. So leaving you alone, well, not alone, but basically in this grand hall that has had like 80% of the people file out of it for one reason or another, leaving it rather sparsely populated, with plenty of waiters still going around offering drinks and food to whoever wants any.
Sure.
And with that, I believe we've been playing about 2 hours now, so we'll call it for this week. You're going to get 200 XP for the 2 hours of play, and...
I think I could take that custom talent if we wanted to do that.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Jeremy, that's right. I wanted to talk to you about custom talents for Gar, because we've been for everyone's looking at like getting a custom talent, perhaps.
Custom talents, you say?
Yeah.
So
Tell me
let
more.
me see. I might have to
How's
pull
that
up
work?
my shit at work, but I had for